Hello, Joy Fuelers. I'm really excited to welcome Joy Resor today to our Kindcast. And Joy is just a lovely human being. I've been so grateful to come to know you, Joy, over the last couple of years. And Joy has, in addition to spreading joy through her life and her work, she is also an author of several amazing books, and we're going to talk about two of her books today. But I'm so grateful that you're here, Joy. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Becky. It's been a real gift to be connected with you.
Well, we get to talk about one of our favorite topics today. And we're going through such a time of radical change in the world, and there's so much unjoy that we're witnessing. And sometimes when I talk to people about joy, people wonder how I could have joy when there is so much suffering. And so I wonder if you could talk about how you reconcile that, how you hold joy amidst witnessing the challenges that are happening in the world.
Thank you, Becky. Yes, what my understanding is that events are neutral. Events just are. There is a real isness to life. And it's everything we put on that. Our perception, if we think this virus is hard, then we're thinking this virus is hard. I am thriving in this time because I feel for all the pain in the world. I love people and I send blessings to those who are suffering. But what I've come to understand in my short years on the planet is that the world could be what the world is, and I get to be who I want to be. If I wanted to put a clown hat on today and dance, I could do it. It's our personal choice how we want to be. And I have healed into a person who's overflowing with love and peace and joy to give, to spread. Does that answer?
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So it does not deny the truth of other people's suffering. It feels like an honoring of it, in the way that you are choosing to live and in the way you acknowledge that. And so it's so powerful and so beautiful. And a couple of years ago, when I read your book, Go Enjoy, the first edition, we're talking about the second edition today, but it was so moving because it was so creative in the way you walk us through the alphabet of the book of different topics around cultivating joy. And I wonder, the new book, can you say we've got the new book, it's called Go Enjoy, an Alphabetical Adventure, second edition, a relatable book of essays, poems, and questions to ignite your joy. And I wonder if we could do a little bit of bibliomancy with the book. And I'll say what bibliomancy is. I heard a few years ago from this writer called Phil Cusino this word of bibliomancy, and it's a type of I don't know if it's luck. It's just the luck of the drawer, where you open a book, or if you go to the library or you go to the thrift store and you walk down an aisle and you don't look and you just point at the book and you see if that's the book that's for you. It's an act of serendipity. So I wonder if we could look and play the bibliomancy game with Go Enjoy second edition and have a look and see what message might come through for us.
Certainly, certainly. And I have started to use my books, inviting people who want to use them as a tool of divination. Like I I call it Divining Words to Enliven You. And I would let them pick a page in one of my books and do it. So we could either do Bibliomancy.
Yeah, Bibliomancy, or I like what say the name of it again. I love that.
Divining Words to Enliven You.
Oh, I love that. Divining Words to Enliven You. Let's
pick a letter of the alphabet, Becky, or you would pick a page number. That's how I've been doing it. Or if you want me to just open it, yeah.
How about page 144?
Let's see. What's that page? It's a blank page. Could it really be?
That's the message. That might be the message that I need right now.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Well, then you pick one. Just you open it and find one for us. I will take that to heart, though. I will take that message to heart. Some of us, maybe some of us watching that, having a blank page, that might be a message that we need to receive.
You need that. Yes. So where I opened is in between two things. So it's in between the last in the E chapter, What Experiment Beckons, Go Forth, and the F chapter, Fizzies and Other Childhood Treasures. So
that second one sounded really the childhood treasures. Can you hold up the book too, because I just love this new cover. So oh, that's so beautiful. Oh my goodness, it just makes me feel joy just looking at it.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Yeah, the first cover made people feel that too.
It did me as well.
It confused people if it was a kid's book. So we matured the cover.
Yes. Yeah. I can understand that, because so many adults are deprived of those creative, colorful kinds of things that we had as children, that we were, culturally allowed to have as children, and that as we get older, we associate it in a different way. But really, we need play and creativity and color and all those things as adults, as much as we did as such when we were children. And so
yeah, and actually we need to be more intentional sometimes about it, right, Becky? Because as children, it is a natural aspect of who we were, playing. Our parents would say, go play. But as adults who have become perhaps or maybe our shoulders are here and maybe we're very serious, maybe we need to relearn or recover an aspect of our children, the children in us, and play a little bit. Draw with chalk, get out your hula hoop. Yeah, dress in color. Don't have to. Yeah, a person came to my house, bless her, this dear person the other day, and really short hair and dressed in a lot of dark colors, and I was like, okay, okay. She came, yeah. Okay.
So can you read from that page of the book?
Oh, the Fizzies?
Yes.
Other Childhood Treasures? I kind of lost it. Let me find it. Oh, wait, did I do the right page?
Whichever one. Do a new one then, if you can.
It's where I opened it. Okay.
All right, got it.
Fizzies and Other Childhood Treasures. Read the following question before daydreaming about your life as a child. What did you love to do? So I give people space and time. They don't have to read. But since we're reading, so here's some of my daydreams. Root beer fizzies, Twinkies, Rolos, bazooka bubble gum, Beatles cards, roller skates, Chinese jump rope, hours of jazz, marbles, freeze tag, red rover, mousetrap, Monopoly, careers in a red box, imprinting on my heart that happiness points are better than fame points, dancing around the living room singing DJ Moi from South Pacific, hula hoops, pogo sticks, throwing balls over the house, climbing crabapple trees, coasting bikes down Trumbull Hill, heart and soul on the piano, playing school, trading with girlfriends. After games of kickball, tag, and jack, one of us yelled, "Let's trade!" We scatter home to search junk drawers, treasure boxes, and more to come up with stuff, plain or wrapped in tissue and tape. A whistle, a rabbit's foot, a Beatles card, a marble, a piece of doublemint. We run to the meeting spot at the set time where the fastest draw goes first, offering an item for auction. We place bids forward. I'll give you this barrette and this lanyard for your rabbit's foot. On and on the trading goes until someone's had enough. Trading isn't something I'll likely resurrect, but hula hooping sure is, which earns an essay in Chapter H, a second reminder to resurrect an element of childhood. You have permission, and yes, I know where my jacks are. Call to play. Add an element of play to your life.
Oh, that is so gorgeous. Just hearing you read that, I associate with so many of the things that you shared, and you are so, the way your writing style really, for me, takes me back to my childhood, makes me remember different things like double mint gum. It's extraordinary. And the prompt that you give in the beginning, that, each is, and is there a prompt in every chapter?
In most chapters, they start with questions. Many chapters start with questions. And sometimes there's a little bit of essay, like where I just opened the page, where it's essay and then the questions and then more essay. So it just depended on the topic. Like, does change have our number? Does the word change make us shrink back, smile with delight, break into goosebumps? Surprise, hula hoop. Do we long to break out our jump rope or pogo stick? Do we ache to paint with our fingers? How much creative play can we add to our day if we bring back an element of childhood? Yeah, the book, it's really, the first edition really inspired a lot of people, and I'm glad that you resonated with it. And the second edition made it go even further in the world.
To bless more hearts and lives in their joy. What was it like for you to revisit the book and to add new material to it? I understand you put some new poems and new reflections in the book in the second edition, and I wonder what that process was like, because you had your creation before, and then to revisit, how did that feel, and what was your process for deciding what you wanted to add to it?
Thank you so much, Becky. What I knew is that it had been 5 years since I had written the other one, and my process is really so organic. I don't make a lot of decisions from up here. I receive ideas from my heart, from spirit. So for the edition, I just thought, what have I learned in the last 5 years? Because the first book was a divine assignment where divinity woke me up and said, use the lessons of your life to inspire readers. So what did I learn in the last, oh gosh, I learned this. And that became an essay, and I wrote down some names of essays and leaned into writing them. And what I was so happy about, Becky and watchers, is that I could so easily step into that way of writing. It was it's the way I write. So to write an essay called What If a Pandemic Arises is in this book. To write an essay called, let's see, what's another new one? How do we shut ourselves down? Because I learned that my partner, who we've been dating for 2.5 years, and Michael moved into my house a month ago, that he had shut himself down. So let's see.
So then when you wrote that particular essay, were you speaking to how to move from that place of shutdown, or what did you find you were able to just, you don't have to read it, but I just wonder like what the theme of that, because that's such a really important question for all of us to hold. What happens if we notice that we have shut down in ourselves, and how can we get out of that shutdown phase if it's not doing anything for serving us? Sometimes we shut down and it's okay to shut down, but then there are other times when we're blocking things in our life because of that. So I wonder what you might offer to people who have recognized that if they have shut down and it's not doing them good, how they might move through that.
Yeah, I think if I name the questions that are asked here, Becky, it was, do we tell ourselves it's not worth it to try something new? Do we live by ignoring desires that arise? Does a myth or mantra spin that some way or another keeps us stuck? I mentioned earlier that I spent years hiding in clothes too large with low self-esteem, possibly depressed. Yep, I'm not proud of the years I rehashed stories that I wasn't enough, though I love all versions of little old me who did the best I could. Where do you find your sweet self in this message? Are you struggling to care for yourself? Are you taking baby steps forward? Are you living into a plan to love your whole self? And it goes on with a little bit about Michael, and he had been living by a mantra, life is easy for those without preferences. He stagnated in a safe life, for he hadn't allowed his heart's desires to lead him forward, until receiving a wake-up call from a poem in the first version of my book.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah, so you do or don't remember, but there was a poem in there called Of Dreams. And it spoke to Michael. He's like, yeah, I do have dreams. I have to stop just not having preferences. He had already met me. He had a dream to know me more. And he read my book, which opened that up in him.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Thank you. I know. I mean, it really was because I wrote that first book. He read a poem in it that reminded him, I've been living just life as it comes, it goes, no preferences. But I do have dreams. And what if I live into a dream for my life? So yeah, if feeling stuck, I mean, I have been there, and it's not a fun place to be.
And you're even having the realization does not inoculate or vaccinate you against it. It's not like just because that it won't happen again. We get in those patterns that can, all of a sudden we find ourselves in it, and you're like, oh, here I go again. Because we're human, and it's a becoming always. We're always becoming ourselves. So we're challenged by these things.
Gosh, yeah, like this week. 3 weeks ago, I signed up to do something. And this week I realized, no, Joy, You don't need to do that. You need to focus on your writing. You are a writer. You write inspiring books that people resonate, that change people's lives sometimes. Keep writing. You have become a deeper sense of yourself. Keep writing. And every time I write a book, I become a deeper joy version of me.
Mm.
Yeah.
So powerful. That's so beautiful. Wow. Well, I wonder if I'm just thinking, I always have so many questions. You have another book that you did write it's for adults and for children. And I wonder if you could share a little bit about that beautiful book and the illustrations. You have a lovely illustrator that did this book with you.
Designed to shine, read aloud rhymes for any size heart, which is every review on Amazon so far mentions the artwork by Lauren Connell because it's so precious.
So beautiful.
And
It's lovely. Is it watercolor?
yeah,
Mm.
she's used watercolor, and that's what I prefer. And in the second version of this book, which Lauren's illustrating, she asked, digital or watercolor? And digital is so much easier for her and quicker. And I said, thank you for inquiring. I would like watercolor, please.
Mm-hmm.
So all the books to this point are alphabetical, and I'm actually thinking of writing a non-alphabetical book.
Is there a letter in that book that you want to read from? Is there something that, or should we do, should we, the enliven, what did you say the name of your?
Oh, divining words to enliven you. Becky, choose a letter of the alphabet because this book has one rhyme for each letter.
Well, I think you know which one I'm going to choose, but the letter J. So you're Joy, and Joy is our work, and J is also my middle name, Jane, my mother's name.
And Joy, and J in this book is Joy. I thought you would name B for Becky. This book is balanced. There are 26 topics in this book. So, joy, a feeling so high, so bold and so deep, it's natural, normal, your birthright to keep. Meet essence of joy on a walk in the creek, then stepping on grass in tender bare feet. Greet joy by yourself or with badgers nearby, with monkeys on treetops, geese streaming through sky. Add hula in sunbeams, do not hesitate. Share it, embrace it, to joy celebrate.
Yeah. Oh, show us the picture. Can you show us the picture of the J? Oh.
Yeah, because you could use your imagination with joy. You could do whatever you want.
Look, by the creek, on the grass. Does she have a name with the characters named, or just in your imagination, like we bring our own names to the characters?
Yeah, we didn't set out to name like this dragon, but there is a rhyme in here where it feels like he was giving his name. Yeah, because it says, then I don't know, slip your left toe under Scully's pet bear. So maybe his name is Scully.
Scully the dragon.
Scully the dragon.
Oh, hold that up. Oh, look, that's so beautiful. Oh, and that's Lauren Connolly's illustrations. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And your words, like what a divine combination.
It was, and it was a divine appointment because I knew her aunt, and I had been just waiting for the right artist to connect with my rhymes, and then had a meeting with her aunt. who said, I'm going to send your card to my niece. She might be your person. And she turned out to be my person.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, I wonder before we go if you could share your contact information, your websites where people can check out more of your work, and also how people can order your books.
Thank you, Becky. Yes, signed copies are available through me, and my website is joyonyourshoulders.com, so you can order them there. There's a contact form, through the website, and otherwise they're available at any independent bookstore. If you have a store that's open during COVID, you could ask them to order this book for you, my books for you. And then online, you could click and order the book.
That's fantastic. I know indie books, they're really innovating, how they're reaching out to be able to help their customers, even if their doors are closed. We have a lovely bookshop in Wake Forest, close to where I live, and they have curbside. You order the book, it comes in a week, and then you go and get it, and it's safe distancing, and you still get to connect with the books that you long for, and you're also supporting independent booksellers, which is so important right now.
Yeah.
Because they've been there for us over these years. So I'm so grateful for this conversation, Joy. I wonder if there's anything else that you'd like to share before we go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Becky. It's been a wonderful conversation with you. Did you have a final question for me?
I'm just really grateful to know you and to know your books, because we need gateways to have maintenance for our joy. We need resources, we need tools. And I see your work, your books, as that kind of possibility, just having them around. We have the books that I actually have at my little church that I'm the youth director at, and sharing that with the children, and just grabbing something and sharing it is always so delightful, and having those as resources for our own joy, so that we can cultivate that right now, and honor what's possible for us through joy. And so I'm grateful that you are here, that you are on this planet right now, and doing this beautiful work for joy that is so needed and so necessary. And just so grateful for your gifts, Joy. Thank you so much.
Oh, Becky, thank you. You gave me such goosebumps. Really, because you didn't know me decades ago when I was little and and I was hiding, and I felt like, how could I ever be someone who brings something that would matter to other people? It was all the wounds that I needed to grow through, work through, and that I am always ever becoming a different version of me. And now I'm this version that has books that inspire people. So if they don't meet me on the street, like I met a woman yesterday, and she texted me last night. She said, I need to have a call with you. I feel like I could tell you anything. And that is because
so beautiful.
I am a welcoming person. I will keep any confidence for anybody. I can hold any darkness. I won't hold it. I will receive it. I will transmute it. I will give you an idea to go onward, and support you in recovering your joy. Because I think it's something we all need to recover.
Yeah.
In life.
That's so beautiful. What a gift you are. I'm so grateful that we're friends, and I'm so grateful to be able to share your light with our Joyfuel Kindcast Joy Fuelers. And thank you so much for what you do in the world, and for this beauty and these beautiful books. So I'll just remind everybody of the title, Go Enjoy, an Alphabetical Adventure, second edition, not to be confused with the first one. And hold the cover up again for us, Joy. So the other cover is different. Look for this one with the rainbow that's going across the top. Oh, I just love that. Go Enjoy, second edition, and you can get that through Joy's website and also through indie bookshops and other places too, including Amazon. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to all our Joy Fuelers for watching. And we'll include links to how you can get in touch with Joy wherever you find this broadcast. So thank you, Joy.
My pleasure. Thank you, Becky. Many blessings, everybody. Bye-bye.